Artists, storytellers, beatmakers, these are the latest news, deals, and free plugins from the music production world. 2 new plugins are taking weird to the next level, and they actually sound good while doing it. The first plugin, called Lair, comes with an unbelievable backstory that I'll tell you in a sec. It's created by Aberrant, makers of Sketch Cassette and Digitalis. Digitalis was a plugin that was on my list of the top plugins of 2022. This new plugin is a reverb. They're describing it as an occult reverberator, and the graphics certainly match that theme. There are 3 unique controls in this plugin. The first is Artifact, that creates dark spring reverb washes. Next is Mirror, which adds metallic shimmering sounds. And the last, Rift, creates, as they say, mystical echoes and haunting resonances. Of course, you get some standard controls like drive, stereo width, and even ducking. Now, the story behind this plugin is on their webpage, and it's weird. Apparently, the person working on the Lair project gets consumed by it in strange ways, even losing their hair and body parts, and they're ultimately presented with a diskette that, along with the mortal sacrifices, brings immense pain and power. Yeah, I think Aberrant needs to create more fantasy fiction with their plugins. You can read the full story on their website. Now, the plugin itself is very cool. The dark theme aside, I think Lair actually produces some lush sounds, and there is a free demo so you can test it out yourself too. It's selling for $24 right now, link is below. Okay, this next super unique plugin creates musical motion with real physics. Droplets is a physics-based sequencer that simulates droplets falling at musical intervals. These droplets bounce off of bars, triggering notes, and creating musical patterns. It's an interesting new way to interact with your music. In Droplets, you can place, arrange, and modify bars and drippers in various ways. You can adjust the drip by turning a handle. The length of each bar controls its pitch, and even small adjustments can lead to entirely new musical patterns. So even though you're relying on physics here, you can control a lot of stuff. Among the controls is quantization. You can adjust the tempo as well. Changing the tempo inside Droplets or your DAW affects the speed of the entire physics simulation, so you can keep things in time easily. You can set a scale with this wheel, and you can simulate wind. Wind will cause some random movements of the droplets and create some evolving patterns. And what would physics be without gravity? You can adjust the strength and direction of gravity to create new patterns within the same arrangement. Now, you also get a synth engine inside Droplets with FM, sampling, additive, and subtractive synthesis, along with multiple effects and modulation settings. You can also use Droplets as a MIDI generator to trigger another virtual instrument or an external synthesizer from your DAW. I love plugins like this that give you a unique and creative way to generate music. Droplets is available right now for just $20, which I think is a steal for such a creative plugin. Question of the week. What's the most unique sound design plugin you've ever used? Droplets and Lair are super unique plugins, and if you remember, a couple weeks ago I shared another one, Buzzone, which was the most fun synth I've tried lately. Let me know your most unique sound creation plugin in the comments below. Emergence Audio has a new piano plugin called Infinite Upright. It uses the company's non-static sampling technology. It's a technique that they use to generate constantly evolving and unpredictable variations of sound. Basically, each note you play is going to have a minor variation that evolves over time. According to the developer, this adds depth and realism to notes that you play, making the whole thing feel more like a live performance. Infinite Upright does this to piano sounds to create continually evolving soundscapes. It was built using samples from a 1980s Baldwin upright piano. They blended these samples with some processing and effects from a Eurorack modular system. So this is a contact instrument, and it features 2 sample layers, each with dedicated ADSR envelopes, high and low pass filters, and panning controls. The middle section has a set of LFO-based modulation options. I think this instrument is going to be good for music scores and ambient music since it's really creating soundscapes. It's selling at an intro price of $99 right now and includes over 9 gigabytes of content, 100 presets, and 43 sound sources. I'll include a link below. Hey, if this video is interesting or useful, can you help me out by hitting the subscribe button? It's totally free and it would help me reach my 1 million subscriber goal. We're at 476,000 right now, and every click of the subscribe button helps me bring more content and value to you. So I'm a little late on this news story, but I had to cover it. Spitfire has released their very first effects plugin called Air Studios Reverb. It's a convolution reverb plugin created in collaboration with Air Studios in London. With this plugin, you're actually able to position whatever sound you have within the Lyndhurst Hall. It's a famous recording space in Air Studios and where Hans Zimmer has recorded lots of his scores. So it's like you're hearing your sound inside that hall. Not only that, you can decide where your sound is radiating towards, and you can control 8 microphones and the hall's characteristics like canopy height, material, and damping. This is not a cheap plugin. It's $279, and that's the sale price. Convolution reverbs are hardly ever cheap. They're actually letting you recreate a real space. So this one uses 67,000 impulse responses to create that realism. So Spitfire is calling this their flagship reverb product, which makes me think that they may come out with a smaller, more affordable version in the future. I'll keep you posted if they do. All right, I've got some deals and lots of freebies, but before we get to that, a word from our sponsor. Are you thinking about putting your music out there? Well, DistroKid is a simple and fast way to get your music onto Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Pandora, pretty much everywhere. And DistroKid collects earnings for you when anyone plays or purchases your music. It's simple to use and includes tools to help you build your audience. I've created 2 videos on DistroKid that'll probably answer any question you have. You can watch them right here. And if you're ready to sign up, I'll include a link in the video description that'll give you 7% off your first year of membership. Okay, it's the first news report in June, so I need to cover some freebies first. This month, you can get a free plugin from Plugin Boutique with any purchase. And I love this month's freebies. The first choice is Rhodes V-Pan, which is awesome. This is a very pan effect taken from the Rhodes Mark VIII. It gives you that wavy movement. The second plugin is one that was really popular when I talked about it a while back. It's Simple Monsters from Krotos, and it lets you change your voice, creating new vocal sounds, even monster sounds. Either of these is free when you purchase anything from Plugin Boutique this month. Okay, I've got 2 more freebies, but first, if you're looking for something to buy from Plugin Boutique, check out the Summer of Sound deals from Native Instruments. Excellent deals on complete and individual instruments. I talked about the sale in a dedicated video. Also, the Universal Audio bundles are worthwhile and very affordable right now. If you want something cheap, get USynth 2080 by UJAM. Great sounds. All right, another freebie. Well, free with purchase from ADSR Sounds. You can get Axe Chorus for free. It's usually $39. And if you're looking for a good deal on ADSR, check out Piano T, which I talked about last week, or even the new Arturia Mini Brute V plugin. Okay, when it comes to hardware deals right now, it's going to be hard to beat Thomann. For their 70th anniversary, they've dropped prices on a bunch of stuff, including the Atom Audio S2V speakers, the Universal Audio Volt Studio Pack, and tons of other stuff. You can even get deals on the Arturia Keystep and the huge Oberheim OBX8. I'll include links to some of these deals below. All right, 2 new channel strips have just been released. Let's check them out. The first is from Harrison. They've released a channel strip plugin that emulates their 32 Classic analog mixing console. The plugin, appropriately called 32 Classic Channel Strip, gives you the channel strip used on recordings by Michael Jackson, Coltrane, and so many others. The plugin features parametric EQ, high pass and low pass filters, saturation, and lots more adjustments. The compressor lets you choose between compression, leveling, and limiting, and has a sidechain filter as well. And man, if you've been looking for a Harrison console plugin, you can't beat this price. $49 instead of the retail $300. How do they come up with this pricing? Of course, you can also get it in the SSL Complete subscription service. I haven't tried this plugin out yet, so let me know in the comments if you're interested in recreating old consoles like this in plugin form. All right, the second new channel strip is from Acustica. Sunglow is a plugin version of a British transformer-based channel strip. I think they're emulating something from Sound Techniques, which was made back in the 1960s, but they're very clear to emphasize that it hasn't been made in collaboration with Sound Techniques. On the Sunglow plugin, you get a preamp, a 4-band EQ, filters, and a compressor. They're saying this plugin will add color, and that's the point of it. They say that the harmonics you're getting from the preamp will get you close to the sound of a real console. If you've tried either the Harrison or Sunglow plugins, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Okay, I talked about some free with purchase stuff, but how about absolutely free? Today's free plugin comes from Lotus Sound Audio. It's called Ocean Plate, and it's a plate reverb with some cool features. You can adjust the EQ of the reverb, which is great, and you have 2 filters. Of course, you can also control size, decay, and it's got a wet dry knob as well. A great complete plugin, which is completely free. Links to this freebie and everything I've mentioned in this video are below. So what happens when a piano company uses NASA technology on their electric piano? Well, you get something truly unique, and you can learn all about it in last week's video right here. Don't miss that video where I also share the new iLoud monitors and UA's new mics. Keep making the music you love, and I'll see you soon.